Hey, welcome back to Tale 3 Cabins. Today I'm going to be going back out on the driveway. I'm going to heed a lot of your advice from comments that I got from the last time I dressed up my driveway. That was back before big snow was coming, back in February. And I got some puddles again and some chuck holes and some stuff to straighten out. And this time I'm going to start using these Scarifiers because that's the biggest comments I got from the last time I did it. And see if I can really tear up this driveway and then put it back together. So come check it out. So I got some great comments back in February, and basically they all said you need to use these Scarifiers more, and I'm going to set them down as low as it can go. And I guess the concept is that it's really got to tear up where those packed down areas are, otherwise that water is just going to continue to accumulate, and you're going to continue to have the same chuck holes and areas of low spots on your driveway. So I'm going to give it a lick and see what happens here. That earlier video of the drive was from February, and this is, it's dried out this time. Some guys made comments that I shouldn't have did it when it was so muddy, but I knew a big snow was coming and I just wanted to fix some items up because I knew we were going to have snow on the ground for a while. So I've got my Scarifiers all the way down. This is the little hump in the area of the driveway. This is where most of the mud usually accumulates, and it always grows a nice path of grass in the summertime. I got the RPMs up around 2,000, and I'm in two-wheel drive right now, and low gear. Got some resistance here and I'm a little bogged down. I'm going to throw it into four-wheel drive, and that seems to remedy the problem. I do take it out of four-wheel every time I go to turn it around, especially when I'm on pavement. Say when I get out to the road and I spin it around, I'll take it out of four-wheel and then put it back in. As I said back in February, most of my experience with the box blade is really just using it without the Scarifiers. And I dress it up, I take a couple swipes, it looks kind of nice, it's smoothed out, and that'll be it. But then a couple months later, I have to do it again. But the comments say that you really got to spend some time here, a couple hours going up and down and going over it several times, not just a few times where it looks nice. Most of them say that it's going to look a lot worse before it gets better, but you just got to keep at it. Now the center part went pretty good. The Scarifiers really dug in, but it's not as packed as it is on the sides where the car tires create those ruts. So you can kind of see the box plate is kind of bouncing up and down a little bit harder to dig in. And I forgot to put it in four-wheel when I made the turn, and I just clicked it back into four-wheel then. Just from the few passes that I've already made, I am kind of impressed with the results with the Scarifiers down, and I kind of kick myself in the past for not using them. I was always a little fearful that it would just dig up a little bit too much or be a little bit overkill, but it really is a big difference. One small problem is that I got a few areas where I don't want the Scarifiers all the way down, so I'll be raising the box up. There's a small culvert that I put in a little while back that I'm afraid that I might go a little too low with the Scarifiers. And then I got my concrete bridge that we have the creek that we drive over. So when I get to the ends and make the turnaround, I got a good amount of gravel. And I know this is really fluffing up my gravel, and eventually it's going to repack down again. But I'm going to be shoveling some of this and just putting it on top of my gravel pile, and then if I need it in certain spots, I'll put it back down. But I'm probably going to end up with about 3 or 4 front-end loaderfuls of gravel that I just don't need to have it sitting in the driveway right now. Now you can definitely see on these subsequent passes here that the gravel and the aggregate is getting a lot fluffier, and the box plate is kind of starting to level out here. It's not bouncing so much. Occasionally on some of the forums I'll see somebody asking that would it be alright to have a 5-foot box plate on the back of a 1025R, and I'm thinking that that might be a little bit too much for it in certain situations. I think with my driveway, I think it would have bogged me down a little bit more and might have created some more issues. I think if your driveway is a little bit looser and not so packed, it might smooth things out and be a little wider for you. But I think a 4-foot box plate is a perfect fit for the 1025R. Now with the Scarifiers out, I did uncover some relics. This is some old pavers that I had from the house I had prior to this when I lived closer into the city. And I had a bazillion of them. I took apart a bunch of walkways on our old property and I brought them down here, and I actually laid them in the driveway one by one in the soft spots, the areas that I was getting stuck, and I uncovered one. Really happy with the results so far. I'm going to raise up the Scarifiers and work on just smoothing things out and getting rid of some of the lumps on the ends of my driveway. So I got a piece of footage coming up here shortly. I had got a comment a while back when I was putting stone in for the pole barn that hopefully one day I'm going to build. And the comment was along the lines of somebody needs to show this guy how to get a full bucket of gravel in his loader. And I basically responded, well, you try to run 2 cameras and a drone at the same time while you're trying to load your bucket full of stone, and we'll see how you do. And I'm leaving this little piece of footage in here of the drone because it almost was a devastating accident with it. So I raised it up without realizing the canopy of trees right above it. There's no sensors on top of the drone. Luckily it just did a little weed whack into the tree, and it stabilized itself and everything seems okay. The propellers are alright, but other circumstances it could have took a nosedive, and that would have been the end of the drone. Well, I'm really pleased with the results. I'm kind of curious how long they'll last compared to when I just would go over it without the Scarifiers in there. So just to compare, normally it's about every couple months. Okay, I appreciate everybody watching. I always appreciate your comments and advice, and definitely helped me out on this little job here. So I hope you continue to watch and subscribe, like these videos, and keep an eye on us. Take care, everybody.